Hey everybody, Steve with Bruiser Baits, Bass Fishing Gear, Flat Out Tungsten. I'm here today at Club Bruiser. Nice day for a drink. It's not time to drink yet.
It's not time to drink, but I'm ready to have one.
Yeah, so am I.
Get the bourbon.
Yeah, get the bourbon out. It's not quite time. It's like 3, so we'll wait till 4. But anyway, Robert, season finale or season recap after fishing the Npfl all year. Made it to the championship, finished 32, qualified in. We're just going to go over some of the baits he utilized with Bruiser. Any Bass Addiction stuff in there? This haul is all Bruiser. Even though some of the Bass Addiction stuff we do custom for him during the season. But we're just going to go over the baits he used and kind of the tournaments he used them at. Kept it pretty simple this year, but I'm always intrigued and interested by the baits our guys use when you're out somewhere other than Florida. So take it away, Rob.
Yeah,
what do you got?
Well, so first of all, yes, I finished 32nd in AOI standings. I had a really good year. My goal going into the season was to, obviously cash a check in every single event, and I only did 4 out of the 6, which is a lot. It's one better than what I did last year.
You cashed checks 4 out of 6 times.
Yes, exactly.
That's freaking awesome.
That's, especially with the talent that we had coming in, with all the elite guys swarming in and stuff. And if you looked at the standings, if I did my numbers right, I think out of the 40 guys, there was only like 15 of us that really never fished a bigger trail besides the Npfl.
So 80% roughly.
So to be in that ballpark with those guys, with the elites and the BPT guys, it's, I'm pretty impressed. I'm pretty happy with myself. I know going into this year was a little bit different. They decided to ban forward-facing sonar, so it was different. It basically is going back to my old grassroots here in Florida, where I didn't have any electronics and I just kind of fished what was in front of me, trial and error. It's the same approach I took going into the season. So covering water was a big key. Trying to fish like high percentage areas and stuff like that. Really utilizing all those techniques really solidified my finish going into this year.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, it does take you back. When FFS is gone, it takes you back to instinct, which is kind of cool. You can't. Yeah. That's what got you here,
Exactly, instinct. So, yeah, I mean, again, going back, great year. So yeah, we're gonna go over each leg that I finished, and the baits that I ended up utilizing to solidify the finish. So let's start with Sandy Cooper. Sandy Cooper, never been there before, never had a chance to pre-practice, and I think it was like day 2 of practice. I kind of found a grass flat that I caught a 5 and a 4 on the jackhammer, and primarily that was really my main bait going all year. I mean, I think I caught a fish on every event, even on St. Lawrence River, and I didn't use it during a tournament, but I used the jackhammer during practice to catch fish all year long on each event. So it's crazy how that chatterbait was basically my everywhere I went, I caught a fish. So let's go back to Sandy Cooper. Finished 19th place, and primarily that's all I used was throwing the jackhammer, and I used the Golden Shiner with a 3/8 or a 1/2 ounce Z-Man jackhammer Golden Shiner. So if I pair that up with the Sidekick Golden Shiner as well, and again that solidified me in 19th position.
Quick question. Yeah. Did you say you cut these down in the front on the jackhammer, or do you use them full extended and run this all the way?
I use it full extended, yeah.
So that's a pretty big profile.
Yeah.
Coming through the water. We're selling the heck out of our Sidekicks, and you say your buddies steal some from you when I give you sample packs?
Yeah, I mean,
that's a good feeling.
It is a good feeling, yeah. So a lot of people did use them, so.
Cool. And that's the Golden Shiner, and then, of course, the Moonlight is probably the other one that we sell probably the most of. But go ahead. So jackhammer, search bait, a lot of cast.
Yeah.
You don't see them, so you're just chucking wine.
Chucking wine, power fishing. I mean, I feel like I do best power fishing. That's what I did when I was in Okeechobee, and you know, without the forward facing sonar. So yeah, basically that's what I had. One specific area I would, you know, hit at different angles and stuff like that, but I was throwing that jackhammer 95% of the time.
We tried to get the Rampage involved, but it wasn't that time of year to get it.
No, it wasn't that time of the year, and I tried.
They weren't uptight as
they weren't.
They were off.
They were off of it.
Water.
Yeah, I mean, like I think we had a cold front coming in there, and I think they had like an early spawn, and those fish pushed out, and so I wasn't able to get fish like really, really skinny, and I was throwing the heck out of a frog and the heck out of the Rampage and trying to see if I can get them to come up or get them to follow. And I would have, like in practice, I never got bit at all doing that. So
wasn't happening.
Yeah, so the whole jackhammer deal was the key.
Stick and move.
So our next tournament was Lake Norman, North Carolina. Again, another body of water that I've never had been before. Never really got any information about that. So I was just going in there and just taking the same approach as Sandy Cooper, just going in there and just, you know, try to fish what's in front of me. So that time of the year was in April. I finished 42nd. I think I got like one of the last checks. And what I did was I really, you know, I used our custom rat shad color, and you can probably describe this color a little bit.
This is basically just purple disco, but I accidentally one time threw some. This was an accident color that Rob saw that took it, and then now he wants it in almost everything. But it's purple disco. I took the holographic and cleared it out, which means I added more virgin plastic over it, which made it more translucent. And now Robert has them in. I think I made some in the Minnow 40. The Twitchzilla,
the
sidekick, and of course he loves it in the rad shad. So that's purple disco. Well, you already have one called Rob Stash. So if you want the purple, if you want this color, just say the moonlight looking one that Rob has, and I can make more of them. Even though I know you don't want to give that out to everybody. But tell them how you kind of. I know you have a demo video of how you rig that, but how are you fishing this?
So the way I was fishing at Norman,
like why? You know, what's the technique and why?
So there was spotted bass and largemouth at Norman, and so what I would do, I would skip it underneath the docks, and basically I would lure them out. Either they would eat the rat shad, if not, then I would basically follow with a Ned rig, which I'm crazy. I cut down a 5-inch stick.
I mean, you really cut it down.
I cut it down really, really small, and basically, you know, if you want to show that,
they would hit this on the fall.
They would hit that on the fall, and they would hit it on beds. Yeah. So spots for sure.
So you're talking about a dock that, you know, starts at 6 inches and comes out when they hit this. If you lured them out with a rad shad,
yes,
and they would follow it but not eat it, you threw this out and it fell to the bottom. You're still only in what? 2 or 3 feet?
Yeah, a couple feet of water, yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
But they couldn't resist the Ned with the 5-inch stick just sitting there on the bottom.
They couldn't resist it. And it was...
What fish? Spots?
So spots and largemouth, but mainly spots. The spots were more aggressive at Norman during that event. I didn't really see a lot of big largemouth on beds. I seen a couple, but there was a lot of anglers that were on them during the tournament time, so I just assumed that they've already caught them or they've already been pressured, so I didn't even bother. I just try to find like better, fresher water if that's the case.
Interesting. I like the drag out and catch.
And that's the thing too. So like I would lure those fish out, whether it was a rat shad or a glide bait, and if they don't attack that, then I would say about 80% of the time they would eat the Ned rig. They would go back to the dock and sit there, and I'll just throw the Ned rig and I'll just hold on. That's crazy. Yeah, it was weird.
Now you staying way off these fish?
I mean, I could see them, but the water was so clear over in Norman that you were able to see them from a distance.
40, 50 feet away?
Yeah,
basically.
That's
pretty cool.
Yeah.
Wow.
So, I mean, it was a pretty cool bait. And, of course, I did throw the jackhammer a lot, but I used our moonlight color or the purple disco color, the custom color that I used the rat shad with the jackhammer, and I caught a few decent fish on that as well. So, yeah, I solidified a 42nd place finish of Norman. And, you know, I ended up moving from 19th to 17th in points during that time before we got to Lake Douglas.
Yeah, Douglas.
Which I don't really say it's my home lake, but that is the out of the schedule, that was the closest lake to my house. I was able to sleep on my own bed. I think I brought that up on many videos and stuff like that. So yeah, I put a lot of time. Out of all the lakes this year, I put more time on the water, pre-practice, and you know, I was able to side scan brush piles and look for specific areas that I feel like the fish were there. But coming to tournament time, I mean, I couldn't get a fish bigger than 1.5 pounds, and that was like my worst finish. I think I finished either 87th or 90th on that event. So yeah, that was
beautiful looking lake.
It's a beautiful lake. Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Now it did just come off that massive, no excuses, but it came off that massive flooding.
Yeah.
Was the water still pretty nasty?
No, actually the water was really good.
It was good. It recovered fast.
Yeah, it did.
And all the floating timber, they got hauled and burnt.
The majority of the timber, I would say, like 70-80% of the timber that they tented, that they got out. So I was fishing south of Dandridge to the dam, and I noticed like day 3 when all the boats were launching and they go from, you know, first place goes out on the last day, everybody was heading north towards the opposite what I was doing all 2 days, and I still stuck to what I was doing. I didn't want to just jump on random stuff. So again, I was throwing the rat shad a lot to catch fish on bluff walls and stuff, and then either I was throwing the jackhammer with the sidekick trailer, or the West Logan swim jig that he uses, the Logan Luck color, which has got like a cool pink chartreuse white color to it, and I was using the sidekick trailer as that as well, and I was catching most of my fish doing that. Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Cool.
So yeah, the next lake was Eufaula, Oklahoma. So going into this year, I also wanted to catch a limit on every tournament, and I actually caught a limit almost every tournament besides the Eufaula. On the last day 4, I only brought in 4 fish, which I was sitting in check line going into the last day, and I just stumbled. I mean, it's part of fishing. I mean, everybody has a bad tournament and stuff like that. So
Eufaula is just a...
It's just a weird lake.
It's
a
dirt
it's
water,
a
right?
mud lake. It's a 110-acre lake. It's gigantic, but
wait, 110 acre? You mean
110,000 acre? Yeah, my
I was
bad.
like, damn. I thought you were gonna say it's a 110 acre lake. We were right next to each other the whole time fishing a mud hole.
Exactly.
Okay.
But that's kind of what it was. So like, okay, so there was
Fish
2
stack up in 2 spots.
Yeah, there was 2 primary spots that had the cleaner water, and everybody, you know, there were some guys that dedicated themselves to fishing dirty water. I don't like fishing dirty water. I like fishing clean. I like to be able to see my lure and just see, maybe able to see fish, you know, with my own 2 eyes.
Yeah.
So yeah, a lot of people were fishing those waters. There was only 2 specific areas that I felt like the fish, and of course the pressure came to it and stuff. And again, I was throwing the Z-Man jackhammer. I think it was a dirty white color, 3/8 or a half ounce with the sidekick. I was throwing the lipless crankbait as well, and that Bruiser bait makes, the Death Rattle. And a Omega spinnerbait as well, just to cover water. And again, it was just covering water, hitting high percentage areas and stuff like that. I guess on the last day I just ran out of fish, and I just got in my head apparently, and and stumbled. So
those were the 2 you didn't, but then you cashed checks on
the St. Lawrence and Logan Martin. Yes,
okay,
the last 2.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, so I think I finished between 60 and 65th at Lake Eufaula. So St. Lawrence River, again, a place I've never been before, and I've just heard a lot about it and how special it is and stuff like that. And it truly was a special place. I mean, it's so special to me that I am even considering getting a cottage there for the summer, because it's freaking...
I've heard a lot of people say that.
It's freaking unbelievable.
Yeah. They just want to go back.
It is. And so on the last day of practice, I went out to the main lake, and because it was out of all the 3 days practice, the last day was the calmest day, so you were able to kind of just, you know, search and kind of look around on the main body of water over there in Lake Ontario. And I found a couple stretches that had a bunch of smallmouth on beds. And so basically I would throw this rat shad and kind of lure them, and then once I'm able to see them and locate them, then I would follow it up with a Ned rig. It's the same Ned rig that I threw at Norman with the little cut black 5-inch black stick. And also a bait that I didn't even think twice about until I got to day 2 was our Bruiser
Trusty
bait
tube.
3.5 inch tube.
Yeah, that's green pumpkin gold.
This color, I'm telling you, I caught this actually saved my tournament because they were kind of neglecting the Ned rig for some whatever reason, and they just became more active with this tube. And you know, a lot of people say that tubes are primarily used for smallmouth. I'll tell you what, I use these tubes a lot for just throwing in like a Texas rig, and just flipping and pitching underneath docks. I've caught a lot of fish doing that as well.
Now you just use the normal tube hook
Yeah.
on this, okay?
Yeah.
And then this is super durable. We also make what we call the soft and salty series, which has giant flakes of salt in it. We make that in like 3 or 4: green pumpkin, gold, and purple disco, similar purple disco. But anyway, just a lot of people don't think that we have tubes, and I think we have some really good ones. Matter of fact, the last time I heard somebody using a tube in Florida, guys would punch these.
Yeah.
Think about them. If you can get the hook to hang around, that's a phenomenal punching bait.
And it is. It's a great bait.
It's a forgotten bait, but
it is a
up
forgotten
there,
bait.
yeah.
But up north, I mean, it's
Yeah.
I mean, it's very common up there to use for smallmouth fishing.
And you're throwing spinning rod. What pound test?
10-pound braid. I usually fluctuate
braid.
between 10 and 8-pound braid, and then 8 to
Fluoro.
6-pound fluorocarbon. Pretty like a really long leader. So then because I would, after I catch one smallmouth, I'll cut the bait and retie again because I don't want to have a chance of them breaking off and stuff like that. Even though I think it was the last day I did break off on a Ned rig fish and on a smallmouth, and then like 30 minutes later I came back, she was on the bed, and I hooked her again, so I was able to relinquish my Ned rig.
What was the average weights in that per day for you? What was your average weight? Were you 18 to 20 a day?
No, it was I was about 22 a day.
22 a day.
Yeah,
That's crazy.
I'm catching smallmouth.
That's crazy.
Yeah, I ended up fishing 17. It was my best tournament all year long, and it was the funnest tournament, the best tournament, probably the most expensive tournament because of all the fuel I had to do. 2 hours to get to one spot, 2 hours to get back, $300 a day on gas, $900 for a full trip for 3 days. But I would do it again in a heartbeat. It was totally worth it.
Nice check on that one.
Yeah, it was really awesome. So yeah, last but not least, Logan Martin. Last year we got to fish Logan Martin, which was our first tournament of the year. So it's different times of the year, and Logan Martin's known for, it's a shallow lake. Fish move up shallow. People know that and stuff. And so I was able to find a couple of stretches, to catch them shallow. Again, I would go back throwing the Z-Man jackhammer. That tournament I threw a 1/2 ounce. I think it was a dirty white gold blade Z-Man jackhammer, and I paired it up with the Moonlight sidekick, or the purple disco sidekick custom color as well. So I'd go back and forth with those, and I basically just like Sandy Cooper, just like Eufaula, just like Douglas, covering as much water as possible. If I didn't get bit the first 15 minutes, I would kind of pick up and just move on to a different area and stuff like that. And a lot of people were doing that. It's the same thing. But what really, really did a lot of the damage, to be honest, was our Potomac special. Kudos,
Michael Catt.
Michael Catt. Kudos to Michael Catt for winning that last year at the Toyota Series. But
that was his color.
That was his color.
Couldn't get enough of him.
And yeah, this I would basically drop shot. I side scanned a bunch of brush piles, and I was able to find like 3 areas that were loaded. So I'd rotate them every hour, and basically I would get my limit with the jackhammer and then just follow through and call out throughout the day with the drop shot.
It's crazy.
I know, it's
It's
crazy.
in reverse.
It is a reverse, yeah. So
but whatever works.
it worked. I mean, those were the 2 baits I really threw, and I threw the death rattle quite a bit too, and parallel it and docks and stuff like that. Just something different because a lot of people were throwing swim jigs, flipping jigs, throwing a jackhammer. So I wanted to use something different. The rattle trap or the death rattle worked very, very well as well. I caught a couple key fish going into that event. But primarily, this Potomac Special, the drop shot, focusing on deeper docks and just dragging the thing on front of the docks or paralleling it on the sides. And then I had like 3 specific areas that had brush piles that I would just, just kind of rotate and stuff like that, so just to get the bigger bites. You'll notice you'll get that 1.5 pound and you'll call it with a 2 or 3 pounder, and that's kind of it. Basically came on the drop shot.
And what did you end up finishing there?
27th, and which solidified my chance to make the championship.
What was your cutoff line? Like if you finished 39th or something, you wouldn't make the championship. You had to finish
42nd or higher.
42nd or higher. Okay.
Yeah.
So you knew that going in.
Yeah, I knew that going in. Yeah, and I knew going in the last day, I knew what I needed to cash a check and make the championship was 10.5 pounds, and which once I got that, it was I'm telling you, it was a huge relief. It was like 1 o'clock, and I'm like, oh, thank God.
For sure.
Now I did it, I made it, and now I can kind of just enjoy the day and stuff like that. So, yeah, it was a great season. And
where's the championship?
They don't know yet.
They haven't.
TBA
still.
Yeah, they haven't announced it yet.
What month is it in?
I don't know.
What's it projected to be?
I have no clue.
No idea?
No clue. I know.
Well, it's going to be fresh for everyone.
It is.
Yeah. And then what's the rules on that? They give you practice dates?
Yeah, we'll get practice dates. Obviously, they'll give us the dates, and then you can go and pre-practice. I think it's 30 days before.
And then off limits, then official practice.
Yeah, off limits, and then official practice, and then tournament.
Cool.
Yeah. So, yeah.
Well, I mean, it looks like you kept it pretty simple, but that's how it rolls. Like I said, some of these baits work nationwide, and he's showing me, and with with Michael and Bobby and you all saying the same thing. You're going beyond the Florida border and getting good results with other stuff.
Mm-hmm.
You give me feedback, we get creative with colors, and that's how it works. So, well, congrats on making it. I know you're real stoked about it. And is there any other baits or anything? Is that pretty much the cap of the season?
That was the cap of the season.
Just
what you see on the table is what I used all year long.
You kept it pretty simple.
And and then going back to the charter bait was basically the key to everything. I kept it very simple. And that's the thing with going into this here without using forward facing.
Yeah.
Sonar is that you didn't have those options. And trust me, I would love to use forward facing sonar and throw a minnow all day. That's me. I love it. I can catch him with it. I can catch it without it. I realized that this year.
Yeah.
But
not having it and then making the championship is proof in the pudding that it can be done.
It can be done.
Because I know there was a lot of people that were just like, man, I'm done, and you set out to put a bunch of time into FFS, and then when you got good at it, Npfl was the first people to go.
Yeah, and I just didn't
know
what to do.
Robert's on suicide watch.
Exactly. I mean, I was very disappointed. It definitely sucked because I left Florida to move up to Georgia and Tennessee to utilize my electronics, because you can't really do it down here as much as like you were able to do up there.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was the story for the season. That's the recap. I mean, it was
cool.
a good year, and Steve, again, I appreciate you having me on the team. I've been with you guys for a long time now.
This is the 3rd year on
Npfl.
When you left, when you ventured north, and you were here before for a little while on staff when you were doing local stuff. So yeah, it's been a minute. It's been 5 years probably. Time flies.
5, 6,
Has it been
7
5?
years? I think longer than that.
I think you're probably right. Or am I just thinking of the
maybe
Npfl?
Like 7 or 8
Yeah,
years. You think about the Npfl.
Yeah. I'm not thinking about. I'm not even thinking about even before you were fishing bigger Florida tournaments. You're right.
Yeah.
It's probably has been 6, 7 years.
So yeah, it's been a while.
It's been a minute.
Yeah, it has been, and
but
truly blessed to have you. Have me part of the team and stuff.
No, I love it. You're engaging. That's what we like. Our other guys engage, and hey, send me this, or hey, can you tweak that, or hey, this is working. Let's keep it simple. We'll do whatever. So it's been good. Anything else?
No, I
wait,
think
wait for the championship. Hopefully, you cut a check there, and we'll have another recap.
Well, I know for a fact we cut a check. We're all given some money before.
Oh,
we got there.
damn!
So I'm gonna get money no matter
yeah.
what. But no, you know, everybody knows going into the championship.
They only take 40.
They take 40. And
Do they pay the top 10 heavy? Is that what?
No, I don't think they pay the top 10 heavy. I think it drops down after first place.
Does it
Once
really?
you make that 100 grand, it drops down. I think like second might be like 15 17 grand, or something like that.
I got you.
So,
Cool.
so yeah, the goal is to win. Hopefully, MPFL, if you listen, we can have that championship at Okeechobee.
Yeah, come
for
south.
once. Do something where I feel like I have a chance to win it. So, but
Cool.
But thank you again.
Yeah, no problem.
It was an awesome year, and I
Congrats.
appreciate you giving me a chance
Cool.
to be part of the team.
Well, this was our second or third interview from Club Bruiser. Hopefully, we'll have more of them. So for Robert Robleski, that made the championship in NPFL, his next year's future is unknown at this time. We'll
Unknown,
save that
yes.
for another video.
Yeah.
And for me, Steve with Bruiser Bass Fishing Gear, Flat Out Tungstens, www.bruiserbaits.com. Have any questions, you know where to find me. Peace out.
Thanks, guys.